Hi, my name is Jessica Sims. This is my presentation, Be the Change You Wish to See in the World, and my coach is Portia Harris. Did I accomplish my goal? My personal goal I worked on with my mentor was being consistent in things that I do. I've always unfortunately had a bad habit of starting something and not finishing it. Therefore, completing this challenge on time and consistently volunteering at sites where I had to be there by 8 a.m. sharp really helped me improve those bad habits. What really helped me was writing down my goals and going over them in person with my mentor. Seeing what I wanted to accomplish gave me the motivation that I needed in order to break through my bad habits. Ms. Harris was also able to give me helpful tips like bullet journaling and not overworking myself so that when I started on a project, I had the time and the mental energy to finish it. How did I grow? So, one of the biggest problems I had in my personal, academic, and professional career was time management skills. Ever since high school, I've always had the habit of putting work and chores off until it piles up and it eventually becomes stressful and too much to do. I'd managed to navigate that way successfully until I got to college. The more free time I had, it seemed the less I actually wanted to do. Initially, in the Silver Challenge, I do admit that I did start off procrastinating. However, by the end, having worked through my consistency goals with my mentor, I naturally was a lot better with my time management skills. I'd found a balance that allowed me to work, volunteer, and complete my classwork without consciously being aware that I did. So this helped me grow and better manage my time, and I'm really incredibly glad that I was actually able to do that. How did I engage my community? So, the service program I worked with during the Silver Leadership Challenge was actually the UNCG Catalyst program. With this program, I wasn't restricted to just one environment. We were a volunteer group that actually did multiple things. So I was able to work with and feed the homeless veterans in Greensboro, and I was also able to volunteer with the local animal shelters. So during the first session, we got to cook for the veterans and then stick around to play games like Uno and Bingo with them. And what I learned from the session was not to have any preconceived notions about who they are and how they may act. So looking back, I realized that a lot of places like the internet and the news portray veterans as angry and out of control. And so when I went there, I initially thought many would obviously be angry or mean because my stepfather actually was a medically injured veteran and I'd had prior experience with like shouting and PTSD. So that's what I came to expect when I went there. However, I was surprised to notice how friendly everyone was and how easy it was to talk with them. At that moment, I realized what I should have known all along, not to judge a whole group based off the experiences with one person. I'm actually really glad that I went and I'd like to start going regularly and volunteer at the veteran shelter like at least once a month. Another place I visited, two places actually, was the Greensboro Animal Shelter and the Red Dog Farms. So, the Greensboro Animal Shelter was where I witnessed an incredibly hallmark movie moment. There was a dog that had been there for a lot of years, and they told us that he was starting to suffer from depression and he wasn't eating, and he was just really sad. And even when we pet him, he just kind of seemed sad. But he was actually that same day adopted right in front of us, so that was an amazing experience. I was really lucky to have been there. I got to also help make toys and blankets for the dogs there. And actually, recently I saw on the news that the entire shelter got adopted, so it's empty, and that's great because I've never seen that before. So, motivation. I believe that it's important to lead for positive social change because, simply put, who else is going to do it if we don't do it, right? So the world can't change unless someone is there to change it. You must be willing to sacrifice your time and energy in order to produce those results. So there are a lot of organizations that actually depend wholeheartedly on volunteers. So without us, those organizations won't actually be able to make a difference. What motivates me personally is when I'm completely investing my time and energy into something that I believe in. So, for example, as I mentioned before, I had a constant struggle with consistency and procrastination. There was one time I had to write a 15-page essay on how the Mongolian Empire expanded across Eurasia, and I waited 6 hours until it was due to start it. Very bad, but yes, I finished it. I was more excited though to write a different 15-page essay about zombie ants as a biology student in another class. And then I actually started earlier and I took more joy in finishing it. So the point is that when I'm interested in something that I believe in, I'm interested in its goal and I'm more likely to be motivated to invest my time and energy into doing it. And so that's what motivates me. Moving forward, my future plans, I plan to continue my newfound journey volunteering at different places that motivate and interest me, just like volunteering at the animal shelter and volunteering with the veteran community. That those were things that really interested me, and I was surprised that the veteran thing actually interested me. But I would like to continue volunteering with them in maybe different cities wherever I go. As I'm graduating this spring, I will not be able to participate in the Gold Medallion Leadership Program. However, I would like to continue my journey on my own and find new ways to develop my professional and personal life. I'm confident I'll go back and volunteer with a lot of animal shelters, like I said, and I'm so glad that I participated in this journey, and I really do hope that I can come back to Greensboro and give back one day. Thank you and enjoy the pictures.